Wow, the basement is enormous. Just some wine cellar situation. Yeah, nothing too wild. Got a covered pot with a single potato. Ah! When we had last left the hero of Kvatch, well, their journeys took them back to none other than rich man about town, Umbacano, who sought out some Iliad artifacts of yore, a whole bunch of statues, 10 to be exact, and a hat and a cool staff and a, well, actually, I guess he already had the staff, and a peculiar carving embedded in the wall. After a bit of an altercation with one Claude Merrick, or Merrick Claude, and his motley crew of misfits, the hero of Kvatch was able to provide and deliver exactly what was required. And it was then that Umbacano revealed he was actually a huge butthole. And so they slew him and fought him inside of some ancient Iliad ruins as he sought to take on the throne and power of the last king of the Iliads, and perhaps reignite some sort of new reign of terror and horror upon all of Tamriel. Unfortunately, he couldn't have picked a worse time because the hero of Kvatch and Claude beat the hell out of him. Now it was time to deal with some other group that was trying to take over the entire land, right? It happens a lot, weirdly enough. This is a very bad year for a lot of this happening for a lot of different groups. This is the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. Welcome back. Zoop, zoop. There we are. As you can see, our robes are in their new secret. We got those secret robes. Right? We got that secret robe. Anyway, we need to head on out over to... Goodness, what were we even doing? Captain Bird told me that no strangers were in town, although he said that Gerald had recently returned from a trip. I should talk to Gerald. Gerald? Okay. Sure, someone returned from a trip. That must mean that must mean they're down with old Lord Dagon, surely. That's exactly what that means. Nah, I'm just kidding. Captain Bird's cool, right? Captain Bird's a good dude, as far as I remember. Right. Well, I don't want to be held accountable for if in case Captain Bird gets canceled. Right? But my recollection is that he was alright. Okay, should I just break and enter here? Is that something I should do? Oh, I should also most certainly re-equip the Ring of Khajiit. Right. In we go. Lovely. Okay. Oh, trapdoor to Gerald's basement. Okay. I can't imagine having a trapdoor to your basement right in the middle of the damn house. You know, I feel I feel like everybody else does it to where, like, you know, the trapdoor's in a corner or whatever, right? But this is, you know, this is a case of them trying to visually guide the player to it, which isn't terribly needed in Oblivion, where you do have the... Well, I guess here for this objective, you don't have the marker, right? You don't have a marker. But you can see how they kind of got everything pointing in the direction as best they could, right? Pointing you over there. The interior rug as you come in is at an angle which doesn't really make too much sense, right? This side of the house, although there's a light there, it's super dark, right? Compared to the glowing fireplace and the chair, which affords a lot of verticality and pops a whole lot against the backdrop of light, you know? And there's a really bright green watermelon, especially if you have a torch out, you know? All these things sort of drawing your eye to the basement trapdoor, and the way in which the carpet as well is kind of set up in a similar vein. Oh, and also, I don't even know how intentional this is, but you get like these vertical, bright, well-lit lines here, guiding your eye down. Right. I wonder how much of this was deliberate. I feel like this part wasn't. But definitely the placement of like the mats and the huge watermelon right there. That's definitely guiding you over. Okay. Head on inside. Okay. Oh my gosh, the Mythic Dawn commentaries won. Where did this Gerald go on a trip to? Oblivion? He went on vacation to the Deadlands and decided to accept Lord Dagon into his heart in a major way. Okay, Mythic Dawn Commentaries, Volume 2. Wow, Bruma Caverns? Sure. Nobody else in Bruma really knew about this? That there's just Bruma Caverns beneath the entire city? I feel like more people knew about Count Hasseldor than people knew that the entirety of Bruma was built on top of some mysterious caverns. You know? Which is saying a lot because Count Hasseldor, probably like 2 or 3 people know about Count Hasseldor's situation. 2 or 3 people whose names are not Count Hasseldor, to be clear. I do still have it tracked. Okay, there we go. Another route back out. Sure. Drink a Magica pot. Got some sort of fun-loving rat. And crab. Gonna blast them both. Oh, well. There's actually nothing much down here. What the heck? His spooky basement doesn't have anything incriminating? Oh. What in the world? Okay, maybe I'm meant to look at the books. Maybe I'm meant to be like, oh wow, Mythic Dawn. Yeah, I gotta open it. No? No? Okay. Sure, maybe I gotta actually meet him? Okay, okay. Is Gerald in town? I don't know where Gerald is. Oh, maybe at, the Tap and Tack. Olaf's Tap and Tack. Is that the name of it?
What is it?
Okay, we'll head on over to Olaf's. Olav's. I'll take a peek and a poke around here.
Hello. Old Bainlin is dead.
Old Bainlin is dead.
I'm really tired.
Oh, Ongar. Okay, well, I'll buy some picks while I'm here. Thank you. Do I have any... Don't I have, like, some measure of precious stone on me that I want to pawn off here? Nah, I'm tripping. I'm tripping big time.
Done. Shadow hide you. A pleasure to speak with you.
Tell me a rumor?
They say a thief actually stole one of the Elder Scrolls from the Imperial Library. Who would have thought it was even possible? Hope to see you again soon.
Okay. Yeah, where is Gerald? Where is Gerald? Are you... No, you're Grom.
Bainlin. Bainlin. I loved you, old man. I loved you, but I couldn't protect you. Oh, Bainlin.
Dude, bless up to the voice actor. Wow.
Bainlin. Oh, Bainlin. I loved you, old man. I loved you.
Do you think he means like he loved them like they were banging? Or like they were good friends. Right? Do you think they were banging, or were they just really good friends who just so happened to live together and shared the living space together for many a year, but they were just friends. they were just friends. Okay. How about over here? Oh, Jurl's house is now okay, maybe Jurl went inside? Ain't no Jurl in here. Ain't no Jurl in here. Maybe I need to look in the chest. Nope. Nothing. Where is Jurl, dude? I found some incriminating stuff. We already know the connection between the Mythic Dawn commentaries and the Mythic Dawn. You know? I mean, yeah, after a lot of investigation, we found out that the Mythic Dawn commentaries, they're actually tied to the demon cult group, the Mythic Dawn. If you can believe that. Okay, well. Let's see, where's the other inn? Northwind's over here? No. Let's see. Do I have a quest that says otherwise? Or quest update? I should talk to Jurl. But where is Jurl? Where is this man? And why isn't he... Oh, maybe he's at the Jurl View. How weird is that? His name is Jurl, but he lives in the Jurl Mountains. Story? The Jurl Mountains. Jareth. Hitting you with the PT. You know what I'm saying. Snar the cook. Okay. It's deeper into the inn. Have you all seen Jurl? Where's Jurl at? Where is Jurl? Where is Jurl, dude? He's nowhere to be found. Okay, well, let's go investigate this route. Look, I go to enter his house, and it's not even considered breaking and entering anymore. Is he down in his basement now? For real? Is he down here somewhere? He's like crawling along the ceiling? Good gravy. Maybe I need to pick up the book. No? I mean, this guy is totally down with Lord Dagon, right? Maybe I need to exit the premises through the cavern, right? Maybe that's it. Okay, I'll give it a shot. Oh, there's fun-loving rat. Okay, anything else here? Yeah, I bet that's it. We have to exit out the other end. Don't worry, Creamy Man, I got you. Okay, Jurl Mountains. Is he out here? He's slunking around or something? Oh my gosh, yeah, is that Jurl? No, that's a forester. Yo, where is he? Okay. Where is Jurl? Here, if I quick save, can I talk to the forester about...
the night watch and all's well. Good night, sir.
Okay. Well,
move along.
Fair enough. Where might there be Jurl? Maybe I should just wait until daytime or something, no? Maybe that's the play. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Let's go back into the Bruma Caverns and rest a bit. Do I remember, like, having anything weird happen to Jurl? Do I remember that at all? I don't know. I feel like we ought to be able to just return to Captain Bird and be like, yeah, Jurl's got commentaries of the Mythic Dawn or whatever in here. He's into the Mysterium Xarxes. He's into killing Emperor Uriel Septim VII. He's really into that, right? Maybe we should do something, huh? Maybe. Okay. Look, I'm just gonna sleep. Oh, I can't sleep while trespassing. Is it trespassing if I do it from down here? In his super basement. I can't. That's illegal. We'll head on back out. I'm not sure where this guy would be. He's back from a trip? Churl is? Let's head up here. Let's try and go to the guard barracks and we'll see if we can speak with Captain Bird. Where do you access the guard barracks from? Inside the Great Hall? Is it from inside the castle? You like navigate through and then you go through like a side door or something? Yeah, Bruma barracks. Okay.
Go take your break.
Oh my god. Okay, hang on.
Feet are killing me.
Hang on. This is a perfect opportunity. Hang on, sorry. This needs to be done. This needs to be done. Look at all these guys here.
It's about time. Go take your break. Another day.
Nothing?
Another sip.
This is the frenzy?
Worry about, I guess.
Look who we've got here.
My eye's playing tricks on me. Damn rats. Always skirting around in the shadows.
Always skirting around.
Being jumpy.
Amazing. Captain Bird, take. Holy shit. Did I just kill the entirety of fucking the Bruma Guard? Did I just kill them all? Wow, maybe I'm the spy for the missing toy. Maybe it's me. It's me. Okay. Captain Bird, you're not gonna believe it. Everyone here is dead. Look at this. They're all dead, man.
Go on.
Hey. How about a rumor?
I'm not listening to you. It's because I don't like you.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Spies?
Nothing new to report on my end. Have you uncovered anything suspicious?
I have. I do have interesting things to report.
Anything I can do for you, just let me know.
Okay, well. I mean, this is a little suspicious in here too, huh? Don't you think? Everybody's dead. Including, Garrett Cenarel. Well, I guess we don't need that guy around anymore. Okay, well. Guess I'm heading out. Alright, I guess I'm heading out. Sure. I don't get why the frenzy spell didn't work.
Stop right there, criminal scum. Nobody breaks the law on my watch.
Oh, what did I do? Oh, they got me for murder. Okay, hang on.
Then pay.
Yeah, let's go back. Let's go back real quick. Let's reload that so I don't have to pay 11 grand for killing all those guys. Okay, hold up. There we are. And now I'm gonna don the gray cow. So that way it's not it's not my fault. It was the gray fox who has just suddenly gotten really into murder. Okay.
I'm your relief. Another day. Another sip. I'm hungry.
Oh shit. There we go. Accidentally rebound that.
I'm here to relieve you.
Good. I'm hungry.
Nothing to worry about, I guess. Just my plain tricks.
Holy shit! God! Oh, even the creamy man was taken out too. Captain Bird wakes up, immediately starts to heal, and then sleeps in the bed of one of his dead compatriots. Okay. I forget, do they like respawn the guards, right? They come back, don't they? I think they do. Okay. There we are. take some of these. Okay, now let's see. Am I in trouble? I really want to go through with killing them. I really want that. With them all gathered there like that. Yeah, I think I'm good. Nobody suspects a thing.
Late, sir.
I am. I sure am. It's because I'm a vampire. Tell me a rumor.
I don't like you and don't want to talk to you.
Okay.
Go bother someone else.
They know. They know what I've done. They know. Okay. Are they in, maybe Geralt is in, like, the prison, the dungeon, or something like that? God, what a grisly scene. We'll check it out. Geralt? Is there a Geralt here? Silver longsword. How about down this way?
Looking sort.
Yeah, something like that. Can I do a quick save here? Let's see, is our old friend still there? No, he's gone. Dead and gone, right? Or am I mistaken? No, he's here. Gerunder.
I'm not interested in speaking with you.
Okay. Farewell.
She was an evil woman.
Let's head back up. Yeah, where is Geralt? Where is Geralt, dude? Look at old Captain Bird. I love how this guy died, like stuck in the wall, standing up kind of. Captain Bird's looking
Someone
around.
should teach you some manners.
Uh-oh. Can I persuade you back up?
You're a hero. Say what you're going to
I sure
say.
can.
Is that? Oh, no. Well done.
Okay.
Don't try to manipulate me. Don't wait. That's just talk. What not? Oh, you can't scare me. Oh, what nonsense. All right,
Okay, great. How about a
you're
rumor?
talking to me, and I don't like you. Goodbye.
You do like me, Bird.
Goodbye.
Look, he's still healing himself up. I guess it takes that long for his magicka to regen. Okay. Well. Oh, did I get everything off the creamy man? Yeah, there we are. I wonder if that's my most enemies, or most entities killed at the same time.
Quickly.
Maybe that's my record. Okay. Let's go check back at Geralt's place. Maybe he finally came back. If he ain't there, I'm just gonna stand outside of his damn house and wait like a damn psychopath lunatic. I can still enter his house freely. Geralt, are you home? Geralt, I'm here to confront you about your whole basement situation. Geralt ain't here. Okay. Back into his spooky cavern. Worst case, we'll need to look it up, right? We'll need to look up where Geralt is. Extra worst case, we need to use console commands to bring Geralt back. Maybe something happened to him and he like vanished off the face of Cyrodiil. Okay, let's go for 4 hours. 10 a.m. I feel like, well, let's be extra doubly sure. 12 p.m. That's got to be good for something. 12 p.m. High noon, middle of the day. Okay, in a dream you approach a vampire ancient. Yep, it's spooky shit. Okay. I can still go in here. Should I enter it from by way of the city, or you think this is cool too? Oh, probably cool. Okay. I'll double check that he ain't like over on this side. Crouch down or anything? No. Nothing. This is such a damn mystery. Maybe he's gone for real. I may actually need to like pop open a browser or something and look up what the hell happened to Churl. Right? I don't know where he's at. If he ain't like at one of the local inns at the Tap and Tack or something, where could he be? He returned from a trip, but did he? Bird, who's giving you intel? This guy is not back from a trip. I think he's still on it. Maybe he's in the middle of town. Okay, if he ain't in here, Grom, Alga,
so let's hear it.
Ongar, Olav.
Hello and well met.
Okay, he's not in here. Maybe he's someone walking around like the town square or whatever. We just heard someone
how goes
chatting.
What?
Do you enjoy
Are you
Good
Jurl?
day.
No. Mysterious Brolus. What's up?
Hey, you're the one they call the hero of Kvatch, aren't you?
I sure am. Okay,
You
goodbye.
too.
What
Logvar,
can I do for you?
have you seen Jurl?
Apparently, Right Wind teaches his blade skills to other Fighters Guild members.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
Are you Jurl?
Go ahead, please.
You are not. Tell me a rumor?
Have you heard? Someone desecrated the tomb of Lothasa.
Okay,
Take
we know
care.
about that. Are you Jurl?
You spare a coin.
No, you're York the
I'm
Outcast.
so hungry.
Here, have a money.
Thank you, kind sir.
How about a rumor?
Hey, you're the one they call the hero of Kvatch, aren't you?
I sure am. Okay,
Blessings
goodbye.
of anew upon ye.
Where is
Tiding,
Jurl?
it's you.
Janthus.
I'm Janthus Brolus. I'm the illusion trainer.
Okay,
Bye.
goodbye. Jurl is gone. Jurl is so gone. Okay, all right, hang on. I'm pausing. We're looking this up. Second screen experience. All right. Is it just bugged? This may be a problem with having had, like, I wonder if we're hitting this issue because I've been on this main story quest for so long, and Oblivion Remastered was just like, well, shit, I don't know what to do now. We've had Jurl in the world for like 5 million hours or whatever, right? Jurl. Okay. Jurl is busy during the night. Oh, gets up out of bed at 12 p.m. Okay. She sleeps at 6 a.m., goes into the caverns at 1 a.m. I should have seen her, though. Okay. Maybe she already attacked and tried to kill me. Oh, shit. Okay, let me click on the quest itself. Okay. Maybe there's like a missive in there that I can find since Jurl is already dealt with, perhaps. Okay. On a table you find Jurl's orders. Okay, okay. Let's see if we can find Jurl's orders. Let's see. You know, I was talking up them having stuff lead us to the basement. but nothing else. Right? We were like, oh yeah, look how cool it is. It's making sure that nobody misses it. Little did they know what the hell I'm actually capable of. They don't know what these hands can do, what these hands are capable of. That I can miss anything. Dude, I don't even think it's here. I think it's already gone. I think it's already gone. Should be on a table here. Probably it was meant to be next to the Mysterium Xarxes. No? Do you think I already got the orders? I already picked them up somewhere? Or it like clipped through the table or something? This is so wild. This is so wild. Yeah, it's meant to be on a table. Ow. Okay. Well, let's go into the nearby inn and we can pass some time out of the sun. Okay. So, let's go for 6 hours. Oh, 6 hours. Jurl might be home then. The problem is that Jurl walks around and goes a whole lot of different places.
Are you not feeling well?
Are you Jurl?
Greetings.
No. Okay.
Oh.
And if Jurl is in here now, we can check a bit later too. And see if that gets us anything. I feel like Jurl should be here though. Okay, no sign of Jurl. Alright, we'll go until midnight, I think. And then we can go to like 3 a.m. And we'll see if Jurl turns up. Okay. So let's do 8. Let's do 4 hours. Right, that'll be midnight, or just before midnight. So Jurl should be here, or either here, already inside, or en route. Which I don't see anyone walking along the roads. So I'm going back in. Okay. The other thing that we could do, if I've already slain Jurl, there's a chance that I already got like a note or missive off of her, and maybe that's what we need. So I could just look through my big stash of notes and all of that, because I've never actually gotten rid of them. I just keep them all just in case for just such an occasion. But even under that pretense, right, even if there were just such an occasion, correct me if I'm wrong, but I wouldn't have been able to drop it because it would be considered a quest item. Which is maybe the strangest thing of all. It should have been like glued to my damn inventory. Okay, let's run back into the city through the main gates, because we may actually bump right into Jurl while we're doing this. I feel like that's a distinct possibility. Okay. Up here. And then if there's still nothing, no sign of Jurl. Yeah, no sign. We'll wait outside the house until like 3 a.m. Okay, good. And if this doesn't bear any fruit, then we might be fucked. we might actually be fucked. Okay. Yeah, Jurl should be down here, like, cavorting around and doing something fucked up in the basement right now. No? I'm pretty sure. There's no sign of like a note, anything incriminating that I could bring to Captain Bird. Nothing. I'll check the caverns just to be extra sure. Maybe they're back down here? See, maybe it's this table that was meant to have the note too. But there isn't anything, right? Unless it's blended in really well. Could it be? I don't think so. Yeah, I really want to avoid using console commands, but I will do it if I must. I will absolutely do it if I must. I'd so much rather, like, weasel my way out of this. Okay. Yeah. No sign of Jurl. Okay. Let's do another check here. Let's see. Spies is what this quest is called, right? Yeah. All right. Okay. Once you've given the Xarxes to Martin, yada yada, speak to Joffrey, speak to Captain Stefan. Okay. Stefan says the spies have been seen near the runestone at the bottom of the hill near dusk. Okay. All right, all right, all right. The first can most often be found at the Hestra runestone, indicated by Stefan, just southeast of the temple, towards Bruma. Okay. Southeast of it. I guess we've been there a bit. No? Where is Captain Stefan? Because apparently Captain Bird is not involved. It's Captain Stefan. Oh, Captain Stefan of the Blades. Huh. Okay. So that's even before we go to Bruma. Oh, how mysterious. Okay. So southeast. It's nighttime, so it should be easy enough to see this big old stone lit up. Okay. Do I see it? Southeast? Brother, I am not seeing anything. Okay. Oh, here we are. Okay. And there may be one of them out here. I mean, this is definitely it. Oh, look at Macer back there. Okay. Oh, wait. What? Kashar?
The scent is unfamiliar.
Kashar, who? Who are you?
Ahead, please.
Who the fuck is this guy? This guy...
Yes?
What? Okay. I'll try to admire you some, I guess. I mean, we do need the persuasion stuff, right?
What nonsense. Really? That's just talk. I like that. A lot. Oh, what nonsense. Is that so? Don't... What a good... No, that's really funny.
Thanks.
Be seeing
Goodbye.
you.
Yeah, are any of them out here? Let me try to roll up with some detect life. I'll use my vampiric hunter's sight. Oh shit, but it gives me the night eye, which makes it worthless, huh? Yeah, because I can't see shit with Night Eye active. The purple doesn't pop at all. Especially with how detailed the environments are now. Okay. I think that's a gobbo over there. Yeah, those are gobbos. What the fuck? Okay. We could go over to Stefan. We could run back over to Stefan back at Cloud Ruler Temple and see if they have anything to say. Because Captain Bird sure as shit doesn't have anything. Yeah, look, Cloud Ruler is so close. Unless it's this one. Unless it's this. Yeah, here's another stone. Could it be that they're out here? Ooh, maybe. Am I detecting anything? No, I'm not. Oh shit, wait! Oh my gosh! Oh no, it's a bandit bowman. Okay. Yeah, this is bandit bowman. I thought it was Jurl. Well, look here. I'll take some of that. Get the picks. Lovely. Okay, let's head on back up to Cloud Ruler Temple here. Okay. And we'll have a quick chat with them. Let's see, Captain Stefan.
Sir.
Who are you?
Hail.
Maybe he's snoozing and losing.
Good morning, sir.
Captain Stefan. We're going through the east wing and we'll make our way to the western one. You know, a journey to the west. Okay. Nobody up in here. We could check the armory, which I think is also unlikely for the captain to be at. Possible, but unlikely. Yeah, they're probably all snoozing. Okay.
Hail.
Caroline.
Hail.
Baragon. Okay. Over here, the West Wing. I didn't anticipate that we would have such a difficult time restarting the main quest, but oh, there you are, Captain Stefan. Okay, hello.
What can I do for you, sir?
What can you do for me? Spies. I'm here about
We always
spies.
see them near the rune stone at dusk. They aren't too woodcrafty, but Grandmaster Joffrey has forbidden us to range too far from the walls. But it seems that you have been given the freedom to attack the enemy that we all crave. Good luck. We will keep the Emperor safe here. Don't worry.
He was the missing link. Okay, tell me a
The
rumor.
Emperor's death was a harsh lesson for all of us. We failed in our duty to the Dragonborn. It must not happen again.
Okay, great.
May your sword always strike true.
Hey, Joffrey.
I hope Martin knows what he's doing with that evil book. I fear for what it could do to him if he's not careful.
Right, Xerxes. Oh, I can talk to you about the spies.
Ah, yes, I hope you can help. The gate guards have reported seeing strangers on the road for the past several nights. I cannot leave Cloud Ruler undefended while my men search the whole mountainside, but these spies must be eliminated.
Okay, I will find these spies.
Thank you. Talk to Stefan. He can tell you where he has seen them. Captain Bird in Bruma may also be able to help. I've asked the Countess to have the guard keep an eye out for strangers. Track down the spies and kill them. Find out what they know and what they're planning, if possible.
Right, so we actually did some sequence breaking by way of doing all of the quests in Bruma. Right, so I thought that we were on the Captain Bird part of it, but we weren't even that far yet. So maybe it didn't yet reach that stage. So it didn't even spawn them in. Okay. Tell me of Boris?
I'm glad to have Boris here. He guards Martin night and day. His way of atoning for the death of Emperor Uriel, I suppose.
Hmm.
I'm counting on you to eliminate those spies.
Well, we better head out right now, because they might be spawned in right now. It's a little beyond dusk, but it is nighttime out. Ooh, it's almost daytime, actually. Ooh, but maybe I have a new quest marker? Could it be? Are they out here? At the stone? No, I don't think so. Okay. This is guiding me there. Alrighty.
Tidings, citizen.
I do really think that maybe I've already killed these people. But oh yeah, now that the quest staging is properly staged and advanced, the note might be in here now. Right? The note might be in here. Okay. It maybe didn't spawn in the note until I've gone far enough. Yeah, there it is. All right. Yeah, because I bet I've already killed them because I've gone around and done so many quests in Bruma. We've probably encountered... Oh, shit. I haven't killed them. Hello.
Lord Dagon will welcome your soul in Oblivion.
No! Okay, okay. All right. Hold on, chill.
The time of cleansing is almost here. Whoa.
Can I disarm your conjured weapon?
The time of cleansing is almost here.
Okay, I don't think so. The Mythic Dawn agent named Jurl is dead. I should continue to search for other spies and locate their base in Bruma. Okay, Jurl's key, basement key. I found a key marked basement key. Perhaps this clue can help me locate a Mythic Dawn agent's base in Bruma. Okay. Jurl's orders. I found a document in Jurl's basement that reveals the enemy's plans. I should show this document to Joffrey immediately. Jurl. The Master was pleased to hear of your activities outside of Coral. The more gates that we open, the nearer we are to the glorious cleansing. The Master has chosen you and Severi for a most crucial mission, a sign of your advancement through the ranks of the Chosen. We have learned that the Septim Heir has gone to ground at Cloud Ruler Temple, the lair of the accursed blades. The Master has made its destruction the top priority of the Order, and Lord Dagon has committed whatever resources are required. Yeah, Lord Dagon has. Lord Dagon has committed the resources. I guess boots on the ground, right? Dremora, bodies. It makes it sound like, yeah, Lord Dagon's providing weapons and armor and food, rations, you know, sleeping cots, to little tents for people, right? Just for the war effort. It's like, he ain't doing that. He's a Daedric prince. He ain't doing all that. Pending your report on the Septim's activities at Cloud Ruler Temple and your assessment of temple defenses and possible routes of escape, we plan to open a great gate in the open ground before Bruma as soon as possible. Remember, the first 3 lesser gates represent only the preliminary stages of Great Gate deployment. Do not, in any way, compromise your cover in defense of these gates. New ones can be quickly and easily reopened, and once the Great Gate is opened, the fall of Bruma is assured. Cloud Ruler Temple cannot stand long after that, and the Septim will be caught like a rat in a trap. We would welcome any further details you can offer concerning the Imperial agent who rescued Martin from Kvatch. But again, we caution you. Do not risk a confrontation. This individual is not to be trifled with. The dawn is breaking. Ruma Cameron. Oh my god. Okay, let's head on into the caverns.
You cannot escape
Hey,
Casta's
what
vigilance.
What fortunate timing.
The time of cleansing is almost here. Paradise awaits me.
Alright, I'm just gonna blast you.
Paradise awaits me.
The Mythic Dawn agent named Severi Faram is dead. I should report to Joffrey that both the Mythic Dawn spies are dead. Okay. Great. Alrighty, let's head on out here. I'm gonna recast and resummon Gordon for a little bit of healing. Lovely. And we'll head up here. Okay. And now we'll circle around to Cloud Ruler Temple, huh? We should maybe also consider getting oh, here, I should be in stealth, shouldn't I? Build a little bit more sneak XP. But we should also consider waiting here at Cloud Ruler. That way we can feed on one of the blades. Because otherwise we're kind of in a deep doo-doo situation, no? Head on up here. Good. Oh, hey Martin. Check over here at the west wing. This is the wing with all the beds, right? Yeah, perfect. Okay. Should be fine. Okay, great. Hello, Joffrey.
What have you learned about the spies?
I've learned everything, and I've killed them all. At least in Bruma, so far. Show Joffrey Jurl's orders.
Excellent work. I knew I could count on you. The gods did not idly choose you as their agent, whatever you may think. But it is clear that Mankar Cameron will soon bring all his power to bear against Bruma. I will warn the Countess of the danger. You should speak to Martin. I believe he has made some progress with the Mysterium Xarxes.
Okay, great.
I will send word to the Countess at once of the danger to Bruma. You should speak to Martin about his progress with the Xarxes.
What about Captain Stefan and Captain Bird too? Hello? Can I debrief them on all this? They played kind of a role in the quest.
Sir?
Hey, I dealt with those spies.
We always see them near the rune
No.
stone,
Oh, I already...
but it seems that
Okay.
you have been given the freedom.
Okay, yeah, I got
May
them all.
your ill spirit guide us.
Don't worry about it, I got them. Okay. We'll go chat with Martin. Hopefully he's still outside over here. Well, in that sense, maybe we shouldn't go talk to Captain Bird, because he also may not have anything new to say, just as Stefan didn't. Right? Could be. Alright. Hello, Martin. Nice little collection you got going on here.
I've deciphered part of the ritual needed to open a portal to Cameron's paradise. The Xarxes mentions 4 items needed for the ritual, but so far I have only deciphered one of them. The blood of a Daedra lord. In fact, Daedric artifacts are known to be formed from the essence of a Daedric lord, from whence they derive their great power. Not an easy thing to come by, obviously, but we will need a Daedric artifact. Bring it to me when you have acquired one.
Now, can't I get information on every Daedric artifact now from him? Hang on.
I think I'm close to
Let me just
deciphering
quick save
more of the
first.
ritual. I hope to have made some progress by the time you return with the Daedric artifact.
Yeah, can you tell me about them?
The next section of the Mysterium Xarxes is very difficult. I haven't deciphered the rest of the ritual yet. I hope you are making better progress.
Okay, tell me about Daedric artifacts.
I won't ask what you went through to obtain this.
Oh shit, no, I'm giving it to him.
I know all too well the depravity of the princes of Oblivion. Are you ready to give me the artifact? Remember, the ritual will consume its physical form. It won't be seen again on Tamriel for many years.
Yeah, don't... I'm not ready to give you one yet.
As you wish. My preparations for the ritual will be different, depending on the artifact we use. So I'll need it as soon as possible.
Okay. What do you have to say about the Mysterium Xarxes?
I've learned that the Mysterium Xarxes is both the gate and the key to Cameron's paradise. In some sense, the book is Cameron's paradise. Manca Cameron bound himself to the Xarxes when he created his paradise, using dark rituals which I will not speak of further. A gate can be opened from the outside, however. It will be more difficult, as I will have to temporarily bind myself to the book. But I believe it can be done. I will continue working to decipher the arcane items needed for the binding ritual.
Okay.
I'm still working on the second item needed for the gate opening ritual. I believe I'm close to deciphering the relevant passage.
Sure. Well, we definitely need to go dig up whatever item we want to sacrifice to it. I remember him and Sean Bean specifically having a bunch of like voiced lines about each individual artifact that you can sacrifice for that part of the quest, right? It might be because we've already got some on us that we skip over that, and you're given the extra dialogue and all that if you haven't yet done a single Daedric quest, or at the very least you don't have one on your person. That might be it. I do enjoy that the skeleton key does actually count. Which it should. It should count. But it doesn't actually count for the what do you call it? The Chivo, right? Or am I I'm thinking of how it works in Skyrim. Right? The Skyrim skeleton key doesn't count for the Chivo. Whereas here I think it does. Right? That might be correct. Either way, let's I think we hand over one of the rings. Probably not the Ring of Khajiit, because I am making good use of it right now. But we'll head on up here. Though it's not too bad giving one of them up in Oblivion, since, you know, displaying items in such a way in Oblivion is a little tough. There's no, like, proper weapon plaque or armor mannequin, stuff like that. Do I have a butt to drop off? Don't know that I do. No. Okay. Let's head on up here. We'll dig through our chest of super cool items. Okay. Yeah, do we have Namira's ring? Maybe that ought to be it that we hand over. No. Let's see. What could I give him? I do feel like it's fitting to use Mehrunes' razor. But does it even count? Yeah, because isn't Mehrunes' razor one that you get after the fact? Yeah, Mehrunes' razor may not qualify. Because it's only awarded to you through a plugin. Yeah, I'm actually going to take it with me and see if he'll even accept it. That's a good idea. Okay. Maybe I deposited some more in the lower levels in, like, our big vault. Okay. Down and around here. Let's see. What would it be? Ring of Namira or Namira's ring? Ah, there we go. Yeah, this is probably the one that I'll get rid of. Because rings are the least cool, unless the effect is like mind-blowingly amazing, I think. Okay. Sure. However, I think maybe we hold off on doing that and turning it in until next time, right? I think that's the course of action we ought to take there. And instead, knock out some of our book collecting, rather than going out and collecting Daedric artifacts, of which we already have all but 2 of them, I believe. Let's go get some of these. Let's see here. Let's see, I need a good spot to place this. Here, hang on a sec. Let's see. Move this over like that. Okay. Great. So. Nope, sorry. Yeah, let's get A Dance in Fire Volume 1. Let's go and try and get all of A Dance in Fire. The only unfortunate thing, we alluded to this before, right? When I was wondering, like, oh, should I even collect these books on camera? Well, as it turns out, quite a few people wrote in saying that they did actually want to see it. I got very few people saying that they didn't want to, which was a surprise to me because I was already leaning toward not doing it. But so many people were like, okay, yeah, you should do it. I want to see the book collecting. It could be fun. I don't know if it will be. But at the very least, it'll be kind of quick, right? Okay, so let's head over to Cheydinhal. Actually, let me do a quick save here real fast, just in case. Let's head to Cheydinhal. And we need to go over to, let me see here. Ganradel's house, upstairs. Okay. Sure. Where is Ganradel's house? Over this section? Ganradel's house. There it is, okay. I will place a marker. Wonderful. And we'll run over here. Do I know Ganradel? I'm not sure that I do. Okay. We'll peek in here. And it should be upstairs. A Dance in Fire Volume 1. This may even get us like a skill up. Or at least it would have. Oh, there's a couple friendly dogs in here. Their little walking animation is so cute and funny. Okay. Sure. So the book we're looking for is up here? Nope. Knocking over the bouquet. Dance in Fire Volume 1. Perfect. A Wohan Jarth Tale. Lovely. Alright. Let me cross that off our list. Let's see here. And we'll hit up Volume 2, which is at Elven Gardens District in the Imperial City. Guardhouse, ground floor. Okay. Let's see here. Elven Gardens District. There we are. Should probably get rid of our custom marker, because we may need it later. Yeah, I guess we can just move it here. Guardhouse. We have Northwest, like, Watchtower and all of that. Is there a place just called Guardhouse? Or is that what its meaning is? It may mean one of the watchtowers, and there's no actual formal guardhouse. But maybe there is. Wow, there is! Wow, okay. It's right next to us as well. Okay, let's do a quick save. Okay, was that it right there? Yeah. Easy. The only unfortunate thing, like I've talked about, is that fucking the final volume, or at the very least volume 7 of it, is completely RNG, like it's complete random loot. So we may be gathering these books for absolutely nothing, because we'll never be able to read them in Oblivion. We've read them, to be sure, we've read them before in, I believe, if not Skyrim, at the very least Morrowind. Let's see here. There we are. And then, Volume 3 is at Skingrad. At Uros the shepherd's house in their attic. Very well. Wonder if it would have been better for me to place this right here. I don't know. I don't know about that. Okay. Let's head on out. Skingrad. Uros the shepherd. Okay. Fortunately, like I said, this is a lot simpler than looking for Nirnroot or certainly looking for Iliad whatevers, because we've cheated, right? We have cheated and found out where they are. Okay. Let's see. Nope, must be at the southern end of town. Cyrodiil brothers. Okay, Uros the shepherd. Moving my marker. Perfect.
Yes.
Oh, I should be in stealth. What am I doing? Because we can accumulate sneak XP by going by the guards and all that. Okay. Look, maybe as well, folks will get a bit of a taste of what it'll be like for me to run around and go get these books. and all the people who were like, yeah, you know what? I was someone who thought it would be fun. And you know what? Maybe you should do this in between videos and off cam, right? Right? Maybe this ain't as all cracked up as I thought it would be. Okay. Pick into this real quick while we're here. You know, when in Rome. May as well. Okay, nothing much. Okay, let's get on out of here. And let's see, what is next here on my list? Okay. And we've already got volume 4, but we do need 5, which is in Bruma at Regnar's house downstairs. Okay. Bruma. There we are. Lovely. I think that's on the same area of town that we're usually at. Right, with that like curved area around the back of the chapel. Jurals. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Cool, cool, cool.
You have the hands of a healer.
I already have their key. Is this person dead? Oh, they have a woot root in here. Beneath me, I think. Picking that. Nothing much. No. Why do I have their key? And the book is supposed to be somewhere down here. Volume 5. Okay. Sure, and let's get out of here. Okay, and then what's next? Volume 6 is in Coral upstairs at Casta Scribonia's. Okay. There we are. We'll go to the south gate. I forget, where does Casta Scribonia live? Like here on the left, isn't it? Northern Goods and Trade, that ain't it, right? Let me check my map. I could have sworn, yeah, there it is. Straight ahead. Okay. Yeah, I could have sworn Casta Scribonia lived in one of the better houses. She's the local author. Which even just off the top of my head, I don't remember what all books Casta Scribonia has written. Least of which are ones that we have read. Maybe it's Trials of Saint Alessia? Kind of looks that way. Okay. Oh god. Basement. Maybe we should look down there. Okay. That looks like it. Big treasure chest here, but nothing much. Got a couple of them. Yeah, nothing much. Yeah, let's check the basement. I'm very curious if there's anything good in here. Okay. What have you got? Wow, the basement is enormous. Just some wine cellar situation. Yeah, nothing too wild. Got a covered pot with a single potato. Oh god! Oh my god, Casta Scribonia, you scared the shit out of me. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my gosh, a bit of pee came out right then. Oh my god. She's a fucking freak. She's a fucking freak, man.
Good day.
Hello? Tell me a rumor.
You won't believe what's happened. Francois Mottier has been killed. Murdered by the Dark Brotherhood. It's true. I saw the body myself.
Listen, if I didn't know that I was the one who did it, right? The way in which she delivered that and how scary it was just then, I would think that it was Casta Scribonia who did the murder. She was like, yeah, Francois Mottier was murdered by the Dark Brotherhood. I was there. I saw the body myself. I don't need an alibi. I found the body to begin with. Obviously, it wasn't me. Yeah, right, Casta Scribonia. You're fucking, you're deranged. Following me around your own house. Good lord. It's like that movie where the fucking kids sneak into the old man's house and like, he's like blind or something. But he like smells them and hears them walking around. And he like, it gets pretty fucking bad toward the end of that, right? It gets pretty fucking grisly at the end of that movie. It takes a really, unexpectedly, fucked up turn, right? I thought it was just gonna be kind of like a straight up like slasher, but it gets a little fucking deranged, right? Okay, let's see. I think they made a sequel to it too, but I don't remember if that one was anything good. I remember one Halloween, I watched it with my partner. All right, and volume 7 is Rando Loot, unfortunately. Let's see. Now we can also grab The Mystery of Talara. Volume 4 is at Fort Caractacus at Ankatar's lab. Well, shit, where the hell is Fort Caractacus? Okay. Well, we can check it out real fast. Let's see. Let's hide all those and show me the forts. Fort Caractacus. Ankatar's lab. Was that like somewhere up here? Yeah, oh my god, I actually knew. I actually remembered where Ankatar was. Holy hell, because he's the wizard that makes everybody go invisible in the nearby town, right? Of Wells or whatever, or Way? No, Wells, I think. Uh-oh, yeah. Check it out, there's already an Invisibear. Oh, it's going after Prior Mabel. Okay, here we are. Sure. And Mystery of Talara is yet another one where it's a bit of a problematic book because one of them is purely RNG. There we go. Volume 4. And another one, I think like Volume 1 is also kind of RNG. But thankfully, because of the Shivering Isles, there's like a guaranteed one in the Shivering Isles. Okay. So we could also get the Black Arrow Volume 1. It's at Brindleholm, at Torbil the Sufficient's house, in a bed chest. Okay? Which, once again, I think Brindleholm is one of the small villages, right? Settlements is what they're called. Where is Brindleholm? Now that I don't really remember. Oh, Allswell is the name of that town. Brindleholm. Oh, there we go. Great. So we need to go into Torbil's and check out the chest next to the bed. Okay. Oh there, Prior Mabel. Oh. Okay. Okay. Why don't you go around to the rooftop where we really emulate Roach? Okay, is this Torbil's? It just says Brindleholm.
Have you heard any word about the other provinces?
Rumor has it the
is Torbil the Sufficient? This is the guy who has the dead wife, and we had to like shit on his wife's grave to get him mad, and like does he kill himself because of it? No, he just gets really depressed. Isn't that the area? It's not Torbil, right? I think it's this dude. Mellus Patilius. Right, that's the dude. Okay. Maybe it's Brindleholm itself. Okay, I'm going in. Activate my cloak. Good. Got some root. Maybe it's this bed chest. Yeah, the Black Arrow Volume 1. Perfect. Look at this. We are knocking them out. Okay. And then over here, let me check that off my list. All right. Glories and Laments, which we did go and get. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. I was back at Umbacano's. Let's see. Fae Folken Volume 2, which 3 is only guaranteed loot in the Shivering Isles, so that's when we're gonna have to wait a hot minute to even read. Okay. But we can go get Volume 2 right ahead of things. It's at Coral at Velena Danton's house on the first floor. Okay. Sure. Head over here. Good, good, good. And once we get a few more of these done, then maybe we should read a big anthology of books. Right, we'll read like 3 volumes of, what is it? I think we've got, Beggar, Thief, Warrior. Is it that order or is it Beggar, Warrior, Thief? I forget. Where is Daunton's place, though? Okay, let me check the map. Maybe she lives over further this direction. Velena Danton. Yeah, right there, okay. Move the marker. Let's head over. Right.
News from Kvatch for a change. The last of the Daedra have been driven out.
Fine. Good day.
Fine. Irana didn't like that. She was she was in favor of Kvatch burning down. Right. There should be at least, all right, like to be fair, there should be a few people who are like, yeah, it's a good thing that, Kvatch got fucked up like that, right? I fucking hate Kvatch. there should have at least been somebody who was on that type of shit, right? I don't know if the Argonian account is one we needed book 2 on, but I took it anyway. There's Fae Folken 2. That's what we need. There's a lot of good stuff here. Velena Danton. Oh, this is the, yeah, Velena Danton, the former guildmaster for the Fighters Guild, right? But yeah, when it comes to Coral, see, this is what I'm talking about. with regards to the sort of Nibene versus the Niben versus the versus Colovia. The Nibenese versus Colovians, sort of subcultures in Cyrodiil. Oh my gosh, there should have been some Nibenese people in like the lower southern portion of Cyrodiil who, like, when they hear that, yeah, Kvatch went up in fucking flames, right? They fucking, Daedra straight up attacked and annihilated the whole place. There should have been a few people in the Niben area who are just like, yeah, we're all better for that. Right? We're just like, yeah, maybe they had it coming. Right? Fuck the Colovians and their stupid fucking hats. Right? Fuck them. All right, let's see over here. Lost Histories of Tamriel at Darilas House. Oh, we know exactly where that's at. Also, we could hit up Renoir's books for provinces of Tamriel, I think. I think I accidentally misattributed that, though. Because I wrote provinces of Coral. Which I don't think that makes any damn sense. Okay. There we are. Good. So where would it be? Yeah, provinces of Tamriel. I want the free version. Thank you very much. Wink. Okay, anything else here? Ooh, there's some really wild ambient music. Or ambient audio. Not even music. Yeah, there's like some spectral shit going on in here. Okay, okay. Let's see, and what's next? Oh yeah, Darilas House, of course. Can hit that up. Right by the waterfront. One that we would only have access to if you complete the Thieves Guild. Can't get in otherwise. Okay. We'll take a little peek and a poke. Some speed there. Okay. And Darilas House should be in the upper section. Easy enough. There we are. Oh, that ain't it. Guide to Skingrad, Leowin, Followers of the Grey Fox, Beggar Prince, Myth or Menace. Okay. Guide to Breville. Let's see, what am I even looking for again here? Lost Histories of Tamriel. Okay. Sure. I didn't miss it, did I? No. Maybe it's up here in the Guildmaster's quarters? Could it be? No, it is. Okay. That's a short one. That was literally 2 pages. Okay. Great. And then, what shall we track down next? Let's see here. We could go to the Arcane University for the Argonian account book 3, which I believe that's the one that is, it's another anthology, right? But it follows the same main character from A Dance in Fire, or maybe it's the other way around, right? Which comes first, the Argonian account or A Dance in Fire? I think A Dance in Fire comes first, which is unfortunate because A Dance in Fire is one of the ones where Volume 7, I think, is RNG only. Which means we might be locked out of all of the Argonian account, depending on whether or not we find that book. But we can give it a shot. Okay. And this is at the Mystic Archives upstairs against the south wall. Well. Okay. Mystic Archives upstairs south wall.
You have the hands of a healer.
right. God. Look at this. Okay, south wall. The Wild Elves, which we have read before. Tamrielic lore, was that it? No. The Argonian Account Book 4. Holy shit, there's so many. Magic from the Sky. I'm trying to look for ones that kind of stand out on their own. Guide to Skingrad. Okay. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Okay. And then, let's see, we can also get Raymanada at Cloud Ruler Temple in the East Wing. Well, very fitting. Okay. I do have the Ring of Namira on me as well, right? Yeah. So we can just immediately, when next we return for the next Oblivion, we can immediately just go and turn that into, what's his butt, Martin. And be good with that. Okay. Oh, who is this? Oh, you're just apprentice. Okay. Let's head on out. Up here to Cloud Ruler Temple. And what was it the East Wing that I said? Let's see. Yeah, East Wing. Very well. Travel up here and go pick that up. Look, all the people who right, I think that there's an issue though. All the folks who wrote in saying they definitely wanted to see me go collect the books. I kind of it may now be that now more people are than ever may write in saying like, yeah, definitely keep getting the books on camera. Following the fact that Casta Scribonia scared the fucking shit out of me, it might be that people are now, right, there's no going back. I've opened Pandora's box by inadvertently getting scared fucking like shitless by Casta Scribonia. Now everybody may be like, yeah, well, now we definitely need to see it. We definitely want to see this, the book hunt now. Right, I don't care what the fuck is gonna happen if shit like this is on the table. All right, there we go. Raymanada. And that concludes all the ones that I jotted down for now. There are more, right? But for now, I made a decent enough list, I feel. All right. Now, this time, if you'd like to stick around, we will be doing a little bit of reading, of course. We're getting all these books. We need to actually read them, right? We need to actually read them. Let's see. So, we've got Beggar. This is the Tale of Eslaf Erol. So, it should be Beggar, Thief, Warrior, I think. Let's see. Let me check. Thief. Oops. Okay, yeah. Beggar, Thief, then Warrior. Nailed it. However, before we do this reading, if you'll excuse me, I am going to take not just a little drink, but a little bit of a restroom break. I kind of need to use it. I've been drinking some coffee. All right, we are back real quick. I'll see you after the cut. Apologies. All right, we are back. Sorry about that. Let's see. So let us begin with Beggar, right? We're reading the anthology, The Adventures of Eslaf Erol, something like that. Yeah, Eslaf Erol. Beggar by Revan. Not to be confused with a certain, what would you call it? A Knight of the Old Republic, huh? Anyway. Eslaf Erol, spelled differently as well. Eslaf Erol was the last of the litter of 5 born to the queen of the prosperous Nordic kingdom of Erolgard. La Pyracopa and her husband, the king of Erolgard, Itluaf. During pregnancy, the queen had been more than twice as wide as she was tall, and the act of delivery took 3 months and 6 days after it had begun. It is perhaps understandable that the Lapir elected, upon expelling Eslaf to frown, say, "Good riddance," and die. Like many Nords, Etlaf did not care very much for his wife, and less for his children. His subjects were like many Nords, he hated his wife, and he hated his kids even more. His subjects were puzzled, therefore, when he announced that he would follow the ancient tradition of his people of Atmora, of following his beloved spouse to the grave. They had not thought they were particularly in love, nor were they aware that such a tradition existed. Still, the simple people were grateful, for the little royal drama alleviated their boredom, which was and is a common problem in more obscure parts of northern Skyrim, particularly in wintertide. He gathered his household staff and his 5 fat, bawling little heirs in front of him and divided his estate. To his son, Enop, he gave his title. To his son, Lernu, he gave his land. To his son, Suiobud, he gave his fortune. To his daughter, Lysafitra, he gave his army. Etlaf's advisors had suggested he keep the inheritance together for the good of the kingdom, but Etlaf did not particularly care for his advisors or the kingdom, for that matter. Upon making his announcement, he drew his dagger across his throat. One of the nurses, who was rather shy, finally decided to speak as the king's life ebbed away. "Your Highness, you forgot your 5th child, little Eslaf." Good Etlaf groaned. It is somewhat hard to concentrate with blood gushing from one's throat after all. Topical. The king tried in vain to think of something to bequeath, but there was nothing left. Finally, he sputtered irritably. Eslaf should have taken something then, and died. That a babe but a few days old was expected to demand his rightful inheritance was arguably unfair. But so, Eslaf Arol was given his birthright with his father's dying breath. He would have nothing but what he had taken, since no one else would have him. The shy nurse, whose name was Druspa, took the baby home. It was a decrepit little shack, and over the years that followed, it became more and more decrepit. Unable to find work, Druspa sold all of her furnishings to buy food for little Eslaf. By the time he was old enough to walk and talk, she had sold the walls and the roof as well, so they had nothing but a floor to call home. And if you've ever been to Skyrim, you can appreciate that that is scarcely sufficient. This is so, like, written in the style of Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, right? Where there's, like, a little, like, kind of, like, nerdlinger of a quip at the end of some of these, where it's like, and if you've ever been to Skyrim, you can appreciate that it is scarcely sufficient. Okay. I don't know, I enjoyed it. It's charming. Druspa did not tell Eslaf the story of his birth, or that his brothers and sister were leading quite nice lives with their inheritances, for, as we have said, she was rather shy and found it difficult to broach the subject. She was so painfully shy, in fact, that whenever he asked any questions about where he came from, Druspa would run away. That was more or less her answer to everything. To flee. In order to communicate with her at all, Eslaf learned how to run almost as soon as he could walk. He couldn't keep up with his adopted mother at first, but in time, he learned to go toe heel if he anticipated a short but fast sprint, and heel toe if it seemed Druspa was headed for a long-distance marathon flight. He never did get all the answers he needed from her, but Eslaf did learn how to run. The kingdom of Erelgard had, in the years that Eslaf was growing, become quite a grim place. King Enope did not have a treasury, for Sweobud had been given that. He did not have any property for income, for Lernu had been given that. He did not have an army to protect the people, for Lysa Fetra had been given that. Furthermore, as he was but a child, all decisions in the kingdom went through Enope's rather corrupt council. It had become a bureaucratic, exploitative land of high taxes, rampant crime, and regular incursions from neighboring kingdoms. Not a particular unusual situation for a kingdom of Tamriel, but an unpleasant one nonetheless. Hey! The time finally came when the tax collector arrived to Druzba's hovel, such as it was to collect the only thing he could. The floor. Rather than protest, the poor shy maid ran away, and Eslaf never saw her again. Without a home or a mother, Eslaf did not know what to do. He had grown accustomed to the cold open air in Druzba's shack. Is it even a shack anymore? All right, but he was hungry. "May I have a piece of meat?" he asked the butcher down the street. "I'm very hungry." The man had known the boy for years, often spoke to his wife about how sorry he felt for him growing up in a home with no ceilings or walls. He smiled at Eslaf and said, "Go away or I'll hit you." Eslaf hurriedly left the butcher and went to a nearby tavern. The tavern keeper had been a former valet in the king's court and knew that the boy was by right a prince. Many times he had seen the poor ragged lad in the streets and sighed at the way fate had treated him. "May I have something to eat?" Eslaf asked the tavern keeper. "I'm very hungry." "You're lucky I don't cook you up and eat you," replied the tavern keeper. Eslaf hurriedly left the tavern. For the rest of the day, the boy approached the good citizens of Erelgard, begging for food. One person had thrown something at him, but it turned out to be an inedible rock. As night fell, a raggedy man came up to Eslaf and, without saying a word, handed him a piece of fruit and a piece of dried meat. The lad took it, wide-eyed, and as he devoured it, he thanked the man very sweetly. "If I see you begging on the streets tomorrow," the man growled, "I'll kill you myself. There are only so many beggars we of the guild allow in any one town, and you make it one too many. You're ruining business." It was a good thing Eslafaral knew how to run. He ran all night. Eslafaral's story is continued in the book Thief. Well, let's bring that up as we learn more. Right? Written, the prose of it is very like Lemony Snicket, right? It feels very like a series of unfortunate events, but so too is it, I think, like the sort of nature of the comedy, and maybe they're cut of a similar cloth, but I can't help but also think of the late great Terry Pratchett, right, and the Discworld books and all of that, if you're familiar with them at all. Which I haven't read like more than half of them, but they're a good fun read. Okay. Thief. Which also, it is worth bearing in mind as well, since we are here playing Oblivion, and speaking of Terry Pratchett, like I said, the renowned fantasy comedy writer, he famously played and enjoyed the absolute hell out of the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion. He really enjoyed it. He liked Oblivion so much that he famously contributed to a decently popular mod that got continued on in Skyrim. I think he did writing for... I forget what he did. Maybe he like helped produce it in general. But he lent his hand for Oblivion's version of the Vilsha mod. The like follower companion mod Vilsha. He played a role in its development, right? And he didn't play, as far as I know, he didn't do anything for the Skyrim version of it. But he was super into it and was like helping out in the modding community and all of that. It was very cool. His daughter, since, you know, he died a few years ago, but his daughter actually does contribute to games writing. I think famously, maybe she has something more of note, but at least for myself, the thing that I remember her contributing notably the most to is the Tomb Raider reboot, right? The Tomb Raider reboot, you know, the one where, the newer Tomb Raider games where, like, she gets... There's like the Uncharted-esque like quick time events and stuff, and if you mess them up, you get horribly like impaled on a tree or whatever. She did a bunch of the writing for that. If not, she was either she contributed a bunch of writing or she is like the lead writer, right? I think that might be the case. Anyway, Rihanna Pratchett, also very cool, right? Let's see here. Thief by Revan. If the reader has not yet had the pleasure of reading the first volume in these series on the life of Eslaf Ural, Beggar, he should close this book immediately, for I shan't recap. I will tell you this much, gentle reader. When we last saw Eslaf, he was a boy, an orphan, a failed beggar, running through the wildly winter woods of Skyrim, away from his home of Erelgard. He continued running, stopping here and there for many more years, until he was a young man. Eslaf discovered that among the ways of getting food, asking for it was the most troublesome. Far easier was finding it in the wilderness, or taking it from unguarded market stalls. The only thing worse than begging to get food was begging for the opportunity to work for the money to buy it. That seemed needlessly complicated. No, as far as Eslaf was concerned, he was best off being a scavenger, a beggar, and a thief. He committed his first act of thievery shortly after leaving Erelgard, while in the southern woods of Tamburkar, in the rugged land near Mount Jensen, just east of the village Horbeld. Eslaf was starving, having not eaten anything but a rather scrawny raw squirrel in 4 days, and he smelled meat cooking and then found the smoke. A band of minstrel bards was making camp. He watched them from the bushes as they cooked and joked and flirted and sang. He could have asked them for some food, but so many others had refused him before. Instead, he rushed out, grabbed a piece of meat from the fire, and, wincing from the burns, scrambled up the nearest tree to devour it while the bards stood under him and laughed. "What is your next move, thief?" giggled a fair, red-headed woman who was covered with tattoos. "How do you intend to disappear without us catching and punishing you?" As the hunger subsided, Eslaf realized she was right. The only way to get out of the tree without falling in their midst was to take the branch down to where it hung over a creek. It was a drop off a cliff of about 50 feet. That seemed like the wisest strategy, so Eslaf began crawling in that direction. "You do know how to fall, boy?" called out a young Khajiit, but a few years older than Eslaf, thin but muscular, graceful in his slightest movements. "If you don't, you should just climb down here and take what's coming to you. It's idiotic to break your neck when we just give you some bruises and send you on your way." Of course I know how to fall, Eslaf called back, but he didn't. He just thought the trick of falling was to have nothing underneath you and let nature take its course. But 50 feet up, when you're looking down, is enough to give anyone pause. I'm sorry to doubt your abilities, Master Thief, said the Khajiit, grinning. Obviously, you know to fall feet first with your body, straight but loose to avoid cracking like an egg. It seems you are destined to escape us. Eslaf wisely followed the Khajiit's hints and leapt into the river, falling without much grace, but without hurting himself. In the years that followed, he had to make several more drops from even greater heights, usually after a theft, sometimes without water beneath him, and he improved the basic technique. When he arrived in the western town of Jallenheim on the morning of his 21st birthday, it didn't take him long to find out who was the richest person most deserving of being burgled. An impregnable palace in a park near the center of town was owned by a mysterious young man named Suiabud. Eslaf wasted no time in finding the palace and watching it. A fortified palace he had come to learn was like a person, with quirks and habits beneath its hard shell. It was not an old place. Evidently, whatever money this Suiabud had come into was fairly recent. It was regularly patrolled by guards, implying that the rich man was fearful of being burgled, with good reason. The most distinctive feature of the palace was its tower, rising 100 feet above the stone walls, doubtless giving the occupant a good defensive view. Eslaf guessed that if Suiabud was as paranoid as he guessed him to be, the tower would also provide a view of the palace storehouse. The rich man would want to keep an eye on his fortune. That meant that the loot couldn't be directly beneath the tower, but somewhere in the courtyard within the walls. The light in the tower shone all night long, so Eslaf boldly decided that the best time to burgle was by the light of day, when Suiabud must sleep. That would be the time the guards would least expect a thief to pounce. And so, when the noon sun was shining over the palace, Eslaf quickly scaled the wall near the front gate and waited, hidden in the crenellations. The interior courtyard was plain and desolate, with few places to hide, but he saw that there were 2 wells. One the guards used from time to time to draw up water and slake their thirst. But Eslaf noticed that guards would pass by the other well, never using it. He waited until the guards were distracted, just for a second, by the arrival of a merchant in a wagon bearing goods for the palace. While they were searching his wagon, Eslaf leapt elegantly, feet first, from the wall into the well. It was not a particularly soft landing, for, as Eslaf had guessed, the well was not full of water, but gold. Still, he knew how to roll after a fall, and he didn't hurt himself. In the dank subterranean storehouse, he stuffed his pockets with gold, and was about to go to the door when he assumed would lead to the tower, when he noticed a gem the size of an apple, worth more than all the gold that was left. Eslaf found room for it down his pants. The door did indeed lead to the tower, and Eslaf followed its curving stairwell up, walking quietly but quickly. At the top, he found the master of the palace's private quarters, ornate and cold, with invaluable artwork and decorative swords and shields on the walls. Eslaf assumed the snoring lump under the sheets was Suiabud, but he didn't investigate too closely. He crept to the windows and looked out. It was going to be a difficult fall for certs. He needed to jump from the tower, past the walls, and hit the tree on the other side. The tree branches would hurt, but they would break his fall, and there was a pile of hay he had left under the tree to prevent further injury. Eslaf was about to leap when the occupant of the room woke up with a start, yelling, "My gem!" Eslaf and stared. A typo. Eslaf and stared at him for a second, wide-eyed. They looked alike. Not surprising, since they were brothers. Eslaf Aral's story is continued in the book Warrior. Which, of course, that's a fun little twist if you haven't read the first book. Right, but we already know, as soon as we saw that that was probably Sweabud, we already knew that they were brothers. All right. Let's see, Warrior. Okay. Warrior by Revan. This is the third book in a 4-book series. Wait, there's a fourth one? There is no fourth one, is there? There is no fourth one? Hang on. You're full of it. Let's see. Oh my god, there is a fourth one. There is a fourth one. Holy shit, okay. Emergency thing, we're going to have to go get the fourth one. Okay, okay. Let's go immediately get it right now, before we even begin Warrior. Okay. My bad, I thought that was it. There is actually a fourth book in the adventures of Eslaf Aral.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, so we need to go to... Let's see. We could either go to Battlehorn Castle, or we could go into the royal quarters. Let's go to Battlehorn Castle. It's been a hot minute since we were there. We'll pick up the book there. Yeah, after we buy the bedrooms area upgrade. It should be in the bedroom. Okay. Worst case, if we don't find it here, we'll go over to Anvil, which is another place that has it. Okay. Bedroom area upgrade. Private quarters? Is this it? Bedroom area? Okay, over here. King is what I'm looking for. Okay. Galarian the Mystic. I don't see it. Okay. Various city guides. Brief history, biography of Baron Zaya. Yeah, I don't see it. Mixed unit tactics? Nope. Well, what the heck? I know not where it is. Maybe we should go to Anvil. Okay. Oh wait, hang on. Myth or Menace, did I check these? Huh? No sign of it. Maybe it's a different bedroom. Okay, we'll head over to Anvil. It's definitely there too. We have to go to the royal quarters, however. Fortunately, that's not too far at all. Over here.
Go ahead.
Good, good, good. Okay, and then Castle Anvil. Been a while since we were at Castle Anvil too. I think the last time we were at Castle Anvil was for we went there for the Dark Brotherhood. I was about to say, did we go there for the Thieves Guild? But no, we went there for the Brotherhood to pick up a dead drop. We weren't here long, but we did get a dead drop. Okay, we need to sneak into the royal quarters, which are probably up there, if I had to guess. Okay. Great. There's the royal quarters, and it should be on a shelf in here. A book called King. The Amulet of Kings. Pala, Volume 2. There it is. Perfect. Okay. Now let's get out of here. That way we don't get fucked up and arrested or something. Okay. Wonderful. Alrighty. And then let's bring this up and we will read Warrior. Nope. There we go. And apologies, I am actually going to take a quick drink before we read this one. Okay. Warrior by Revan. This is the third book in a 4-book series. If you have not read the first 2 books, Beggar and Thief, you would be well advised to do so. Suiabud Errol did not know much of his past, nor did he care to. As a child, he had lived in Errolgard, but the kingdom was very poor, and taxes were, as a result, very high. He was too young to manage his abundant inheritance, but his servants, fearing that their master would be ruined, moved him to Jotunheim. No one knew why that location was picked. Some old maid, long dead now, had thought it was a good place to raise a child. No one else had a better idea. Okay. Probably, the old maid, right, of course. There may have been children with a more pampered, more spoiled existence than young Suiabud, but that is doubtful. As he grew, he understood that he was rich, but he had nothing else. No family, no social position, no security at all. Loyalty, he found out on more than one occasion, cannot truly be bought. Knowing that, he had but one asset, a vast fortune. He was determined to protect it, and if possible, increase it. Some otherwise perfectly nice people are greedy, but Suiabud was that rare accident of nature or breeding who has no other interest but acquiring and hoarding gold. He was willing to do anything to increase his fortune. Most recently, he had begun secretly hiring mercenaries to attack desirable properties and then buying them when no one wanted to live there anymore. The attacks would then, of course, cease, and Suiabud would have profitable land which he had purchased for a song. It had begun small with a few farms, but recently he had begun a few more ambitious campaigns. In north-central Skyrim, there is an area called the Aalto, which I think maybe sort of highlighting that this is a major work of fiction. A lot of the names here just straight up do not exist in Skyrim, right? A lot of the more specific areas, like the Aalto, Jotunheim, as far as we know, unless we're talking like ancient Nordic ruins. Maybe there is a Jotunheim. Yeah. Anyway, there's an area called the Aalto, which is of unique geographical interest. It is a dormant volcanic valley surrounded on all sides by glaciers. So the earth is hot from the volcano, but the constant water drizzle and air is frigid. A grape called Jazbay grows there comfortably, and everywhere else in Tamriel it withers and dies. The strange vineyard is a privately owned, is a privately owned, and the wine produced from it is thus rare and extremely expensive. It is said that the Emperor needs the permission of the Imperial Council to have a glass of it once a year. In order to harass the owner of the Alto into selling his land cheap, Swyabud had to hire more than a few mercenaries. He had to hire the finest private army in Skyrim. Swyabud did not like spending money, but he had agreed to pay the general of the army, a woman called Lysaphetra, a gem the size of an apple. He had not given it to her yet. Payment was to be delivered on the success of the mission, but he had trouble sleeping, knowing that he was going to be giving up such a prize. He always slept during the day so he could watch his storehouse by night, when he knew thieves were about. That brings us up to this moment, when, after a fitful sleep, Swyabud woke up at about noon and surprised a thief in his bedroom. The thief was Eslov. Eslov had been contemplating a leap from the window, 100 feet down, into the branches of a tree beyond the walls of the fortified palace, and a tumble into a stack of hay. Anyone who has ever attempted such a feat will testify that it takes some concentration and nerve to do such a thing. When he saw that the rich man sleeping in the room had awakened, both left him, and Eslov slipped behind a tall ornamental shield on display to wait for Swyabud to go back to sleep. Swyabud did not go back to sleep. He had heard nothing, but could feel someone in the room with him. He stood up and began pacing the room. Swyabud paced and gradually decided that he was imagining things. Must have been the wind. No one was there. His fortune was safe and secure. He was returning to his bed when he heard a clunk. Turning around, he saw the gem, the one he was to give to Lysaphetra, on the floor by the Atmoran cavalry shield. A hand reached out from behind the shield and grabbed it up. "Thief!" Swyabud cried out, grabbing a jeweled Akaviri katana from the wall and lunging at the shield. It's wild how there's some limited degree of continuity between these books, right? Because we last left Eslov in a very specific place, but this begins not just from the perspective of Swyabud and having a bit of background there, but the whole situation, the whole everyone's current action and what they were doing and what they had has altered a bit. Right? "Thief!" Swyabud cried out, grabbing a jeweled Akaviri katana from the wall and lunging at the shield. The fight between Eslov and Swyabud will not go down in the annals of great duels. Swyabud did not know how to use a sword, and Eslov was no expert at blocking with a shield. It was clumsy, it was awkward. Swyabud was furious, but was psychologically incapable of using the sword in any way that could damage its fine filigree, reducing its market value. Eslov kept moving, dragging the shield with him, trying to keep it between him and the blade, which is, after all, the most essential part of any block. Swyabud screamed in frustration as he struck at the shield, bumping its way across the room. He even tried negotiating with the thief, explaining that the gem was promised to a great warrior named Lysaphetra, and if he would give it back, Swyabud would happily give him something else in return. Eslov was not a genius, but he did not believe that. By the time Swyabud's guards came to the bedroom in response to their master's calls, he had succeeded in backing the shield into a window. They fell on the shield, having considerable more expertise with their swords than Swyabud did, but they discovered that there was no one behind it. Eslov had leapt out the window and escaped. as he ran heavily through the streets of Jotunheim, making jingling noises from the gold coins in his pockets and feeling the huge gem chafe where he had hidden it. Eslaf did not know where he should go next. He knew only that he could never go back to that town, and he must avoid this warrior named Lysiphetra, who had claims on the jewel. Eslaf-Arol's story is continued in the book King. All right, and now let's get King ready to go. Let's see here. There we are. King by Revan. Gentle reader, you will not understand a word of what follows unless you have read and committed to memory the first 3 volumes in this series, Beggar, Thief, and Warrior, which leads up to this, the conclusion. I encourage you to seek them out at your favorite bookseller. Yeah, right, we had to adventure all across the land to find them. Maybe in a different Elder Scrolls game. All right. We last left Eslaf-Arol fleeing for his life, which was a common enough occurrence for him. He had stolen a lot of gold, and one particularly large gem, from a rich man in Jotunheim named Swyabud. The thief fled north, spending the gold wildly, as thieves generally do, for all sorts of illicit pleasures, which would no doubt disturb the gentleman or lady reading this, so I will not go into detail. The one thing he held on to was the gem. He didn't keep it because of any particular attachment, but because he did not know anyone rich enough to buy it from him. And so he found himself in the ironic situation of being penniless and having in his possession a gem worth millions. Yeah, we've all been there in an Elder Scrolls game, especially in Morrowind, huh? Yeah, you find a couple Daedric pieces of equipment and can't nobody even afford it. Will you give me a room, some bread, and a flagon of beer in exchange for this? He asked the tavern keep in the little village of Cravenswald, which was so far north it was half situated on the Sea of Ghosts. The tavern keep looked at it suspiciously. It's just crystal, Eslaf said quickly. But isn't it pretty? Let me see that, said a young armor-clad woman at the end of the bar. Without waiting permission, she picked up the gem, studied it, and smiled not very sweetly at Eslaf. Would you join me at my table? I'm actually in a bit of a hurry, replied Eslaf, holding out his hand for the stone. Another time? Out of respect for my friend, the tavern keep here, my men and I leave our weapons behind when we come in here, the woman said casually, not handing the gem back, but picking up a broom that was sitting against the bar. I can assure you, however, that I can use this quite effectively as a blunt instrument. Not a weapon, of course, but an instrument to stun, medicinally crush a bone or two, and then, once it is on the inside, which table? Eslaf asked Eslaf quickly. The young woman led him to a large table in the back of the tavern, where 10 of the biggest Nord brutes Eslaf had ever seen were sitting. They looked at him with polite disinterest, as if he were a strange insect, worth briefly studying before crushing. My name is Lysiphetra, she said, and Eslaf blinked. That was the name Swyabud had uttered before Eslaf had made his escape. And these are my lieutenants. I'm the commander of a very large, independent army of noble knights, the very best in Skyrim. Most recently, we were given a job to attack a vineyard in the Alto, to force its owner, a man named Lernu, to sell our employer, a man named Swyabud, to sell to our employer, a man named Swyabud. Our payment was to be a gem of surpassing size and quality, quite famous and unmistakable. We did as we were asked, and when we went to Swyabud to collect our fee, he told us he was unable to pay due to a recent burglary. In the end, though, he saw things our way, and paid us an amount of gold almost equal to the worth of the prized jewel. It did not empty out his treasury entirely, but it meant he was unable to buy the land in the Alto after all. So we were not paid enough. Sweebud has taken a heavy financial blow, and Lernu's prized crop of Jazbay has been temporarily destroyed for naught. Lysophetra took a long, slow drink of her mead before continuing. Now I wonder, could you tell me how came you in the possession of the gem we were promised? Eslov did not answer at once. Instead, he took a piece of bread from the plate of the savage, bearded barbarian on his left and ate it. "I'm sorry," he said, his mouth full. "May I? Of course, I couldn't stop you from taking the gem even if I wanted to, and as a matter of fact, I don't mind at all. It's all so useless to deny how it came into my possession. I stole it from your employer. I certainly didn't mean you or your noble knights any harm by it, but I can understand why the word of a thief is not suitable for one such as yourself." "No," replied Lysophetra, frowning, but her eyes showing amusement. "Not suitable at all. But before you kill me," Eslov said, grabbing another piece of bread, "tell me, how suitable is it for noble knights such as yourself to be paid twice for one job? I have no honor myself, but I would have thought that since Sweebud took a profit loss to pay you, and now you have the gem, your handsome profit is not entirely honorable." Lysophetra picked up the broom and looked at Eslov. Then she laughed. "What is your name, thief?" "Eslov," said the thief. "We will take the gem, as it was promised to us. But you are right. We should not be paid twice for the same job. So," said the warrior woman, putting down the broomstick, "you are our new employer. What would you have your own army do for you?" Many people could find quite a few good uses for their own army, but Eslov was not among them. He searched his brain, and finally it was decided that it was a debt to be paid later. For all her brutality, Lysophetra was a simple woman, raised, he learned, by the very army she commanded. Fighting and honor were the only things she knew. When Eslov left Cravenswald, he had an army at his beck and call, but not a coin to his name. He knew he would have to steal something soon. As he wandered the woods, scrounging for food, he was beset with a strange feeling of familiarity. These were the very woods he had been in as a child, also starving, also scrounging. When he came out on the road, he found that he had come back on the kingdom where he had been raised by the dear, stupid, shy maid Druspa. He was in Erelgard. It had fallen even deeper into despair since his youth. The shops that had refused him food were boarded up, abandoned. The only people left were hollow, hopeless figures, so ravaged by taxation, despotism, and barbaric raids that they were too weak to flee. Eslov realized how lucky he was to have gotten out in his youth. There was, however, a castle and a king. Eslov immediately made plans to raid the treasury. As usual, he watched the place carefully, taking note of the security and the habits of the guards. This took some time. In the end, he realized there was no security and no guards. He walked in the front door and down the empty corridors to the treasury. it was full of precisely nothing except one man. He was Eslof's age, but looked much older. "There's nothing to steal," he said. "Would that there was." King Enop, though prematurely aged, had the same white blonde hair and blue eyes like broken glass that Eslof had. In fact, he resembled Sweetbud and Lysophetra as well. And though Eslof had never met the ruined landlord of the Alto, Lernu, he looked like him too. Not surprisingly, since they were quintuplets. "So you have nothing?" asked Eslof gently. "Nothing except my poor kingdom, curse it," the king grumbled. "Before I came to the throne, it was powerful and rich, but I inherited none of that, only the title. For my entire life, I've had responsibility thrust on my shoulders, but never had the means to handle it properly. I look over the desolation, which is my birthright, and I hate it. If it were possible to steal a kingdom, I would not lift a finger to stop you." It turned out, quite possible to steal a kingdom. Eslof became known as Enop, a deception easily done given their physical similarities. The real Enop, taking the name of Yelekilnu, happily left his domain, becoming, eventually, a simple worker in the vineyards of the Alto. For the first time, free of responsibility, he fell into his new life with gusto, the years melting off him. The new Enop called in his favor with Lysophetra, using her army to restore peace to the kingdom of Erelgard. Now that it was safe, business and commerce began to return to the land, and Eslof reduced the tyrannical taxes to encourage it to grow. Upon hearing that, Sweetbud, ever nervous about losing his money, elected to return to the land of his birth. When he died years later, out of greed, he had refused to name someone an heir, so the kingdom received its entire fortune. Eslof used part of the gold to buy the vineyards of the Alto, after hearing great things of it from Enop. And so it was that Erelgard was returned to its previous prosperity by the fifth-born child of King Eatloaf, Eslof Arol, beggar, thief, warrior of sorts, and king. Wow, what a read. What a funny, silly little book. Right? What a fun flight of fancy. I do remember reading like the first one or two parts of this in another game. I don't even remember which one I remember. I very likely read it in both Morrowind and Skyrim. It's a very fun read. Very cool that some of the stuff set in stone here does show up, right? Specific location names don't really show up in Skyrim, but stuff with regards to like the Jazz Bay, right? They actually did glom onto that and make it show up because, of course, you know, if this is meant to be a completely fictional part of Skyrim, right? You know, sort of like Erelgard and Jotunheim. I don't know that they are like ancient Nordic ruins in Skyrim. Maybe they are, but I'm betting that they're meant to be sort of like a fictional town or a fictional part of a real city or whatever that we have in like contemporary fiction, you know? Like, you know, there's a Stephen King book set in some mysterious town in the New England area of the United States, you know? Or like, for instance, you know, Batman does all his Batmaning in Gotham City, which isn't a real city, but it takes a lot of notes from real cities, specifically, you know, very, very specific ones where you kind of get an idea of what's going for. You know, there's your Metropolis, Stars, yeah, all of that stuff, right? I think that maybe that's what we're meant to get at here with Errolgard, with Jotunheim. But who knows? Maybe not. Maybe I'm completely off base. Very fun book, though. Very, very humorously written. Right? Actually done pretty well. Very, very rare to find a book with so much, in Elder Scrolls, with so much humor. And it hits a lot more than it misses, huh? Anyway, when next we return, we will probably go looking for more books. At the very least, we have a Daedric artifact to turn into Martin, which he will melt it down or destroy it for whatever means. Open up a spooky portal. Until next time, please take care of each other.